If you have a 2011 Tacoma, you probably noticed that it doesn't have a dipstick for the transmission. So the transmission is sealed. But you will need to change the oil frequently, basically like every 35,000 miles. So if you go to the dealer, what they're gonna charge you, it's not worth it of what they're doing because they're not changing the filter in the transmission. So what you will need to do this is, of course, you will need the oil pan. You have a torque wrench, 24 millimeter. This is for the fill screw, 5 millimeter Allen for the level, 14 millimeter for the drain plug. So if you're into torque specs, that's 15 foot-pounds for the drain, 15 foot-pounds for the level, 29 foot-pounds for the fill. You will need your original ATF WS. Don't use anything else. Even the fill screw says WS from Toyota. So here we are under the transmission. On the back of the transmission, you got the drain plug, 14 millimeter. This is the level. So it uses a 5 millimeter. What you do is, after you change the oil, you fill up the transmission. When the oil starts dripping, you put the screw on. On the back of the transmission, almost on the tail, you have the 24 millimeter screw, which also has an O-ring. Once you change it, verify that the O-ring is not cracked. So if yours has more than 100,000 miles, probably you will need to change that also. So here I removed the drain plug. Doesn't look bad. Should be like a red color. If yours is brown, that means it has received a lot of mileage. So we're just gonna have to wait till it drains. Just put the screw aside. Has a small washer, so make sure it doesn't get lost. In case of capacity, the manual says it's 3.2 quarts what you got in the oil pan. So basically now it's just dripping a few drops. So this could take a few minutes. But like I see that the oil is not in bad condition. Basically to me it's empty. Okay. So the torque specs for this drain plug is 15 foot-pounds. Some people just don't use any torque specs, but I'm the kind of guy that likes to make sure everything's close to factory. Okay. I'm just gonna go close to 15. No big deal. Just a little more. One more will do. Here we go. Sorry for the focus. Just basically 15. Clean the area. After we fill this, we check for leaks. Okay. So now that we have oil, I want to make sure what quantity I have. Even though it says 3.2 on the manual, if this is 3.5, I'll try to put back in the same amount. So here we are, guys. Took the oil, put it in this old jar just to verify the amount. So these are the quarts. You got 2.5 here. It's between 2.5 and 3. Could be like 2.8. Well, was drained. So I spilled a few drops over here. So I'm pretty sure that could be like 2.9. Plus the residue will be around 3. So 3 quarts will do to fill this up. We're going to use original Toyota ATF-WS. So let's do that. Okay, so I loosened the fill level with my 5mm Allen wrench. Okay, it's not easy doing this one hand, so there should be some residue of oil over here. Not much. So in the pan inside, what it has like a small tube that goes up. So when you feel the level, anything above that tube would drain over here. So there's where you know that everything is on the proper level. Of course, you have to have your truck level on level surface for this. Okay. So now we're going to loosen the fuel plug. Like I said, it's a 24mm. Wasn't hard at all. I guess you need to use the wrench. It has an O-ring. So that could give some pressure. There you go. I'm going to remove this to get ready for the oil. So just before, I want to show you, there's the O-ring. Doesn't look cracked, looks smooth. No need to change it. And if you see the plug, it says WS right there. So what we're going to use basically is this funnel and try to fill with oil by gravity. In case you have a pump, will be much easier. I have one, but right now I was using it for gear oil, so I don't have the time to take all that gear oil, so I'm going to use this one. You can find it at any AutoZone for about $3 or $4. Okay, so I put the oil in. I actually put 3 quarts because I spilled a little here on the floor. So if you remember, it was around 2.7. 3 quarts of WS oil. Torque everything to specs. 29 foot-pounds, 15 foot-pounds, and 15 on the Allen wrench. And you're good to go. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps.